Okay, so we're back. This is video 4 in our series of how to recreate a 40s style hairdo that will last through your guard performance. So we're going to do a suicide roll, which is one curl on top versus the double curls that we did, which were the victory curls, right? So this is considered a suicide roll. So basically what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna leave these two sections out on either side from the temple, approximately. We're gonna leave those out, and I'll show you what we're gonna do with those in just a minute. And we've already pre-teased and pre-treated this hair. So back in video 1, we used texturizing powder, dry shampoo, and we teased it for our base, and we put some pomade on it to get it smooth. So we took those and we used the forms to roll our victory rolls in that first video. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take those two sections that we did the victory curls out of, or victory rolls out of, and we're going to make them one. And we're basically going to do what I've always called a suicide roll. So it's just basically one. And we're going to use the form again to do it. We used the form earlier because the whole point of this is for these girls to be able to do these styles easily, efficiently, and quickly. I don't like it as well without with the form in it. I think you can wrap it with your hands. Okay, so while we were off camera between cuts 3 and 4, I rolled this with my fingers. So what we lose, here's what we lose when we do the form, we lose this curl. We lose that curl shape in the front, that almost ocean wave look that we have in the front. We lose that when we use the form. Let's try this again. So this form has a wire in it, which I really like because it's really secure. So the problem we're going to have with using the form is that we're losing some of that visual look of that suicide roll. It doesn't have quite the look of it that it did before when we did it without we were playing around off camera. So we're going to try something else real quick. So if you're going to wrap it, if you're going to do it with your fingers, you're going to wrap it around your fingers and you're just going to roll it down. Once you get it rolled, then you're going to take your bobby pins. You're going to come in from the front and the back. And that's going to take some practice to be able to wrap that curl around your fingers like that. It's going to take some practice. Once you get it kind of pinned where it's holding itself a little bit, then you want to make sure you go in there and add more pins, because especially with you guys dancing, it's not going to hold as well. So this is going to be part of the video that you can either keep or trash, take for what it's worth. So right now I'm going to go like we did with the Grecian curl in the back earlier. We're going to take some of this, add it to there, and push it in. And that's going to help support that curl and keep it from flying around. But you see how much movement it has just with my hands? We can pin more and get it to stay even better. But the problem is going to be that it's just not going to be quite as secure even with the pens as it will be with the form. So then we're going to take the sides, we're gonna pull them back and we're gonna take a comb. These combs are huge, big, popular in almost all of your 40s styles. So we're gonna pull this back. We're gonna grab a little bit of this front. So we're making sure that that seam doesn't show. Putting it in and then pushing it forward. So now you have that classic line. This probably could have come over. I probably could have brought this whole thing over just a little bit further, closer to the corner of this eye. So pulled it back with the clips so it's away from the face, which is that classic 40s style where it's pulled back away from the face. And then what we're going to do is we're going to use a wave maker to get our waves quickly without without rolling it on a curling iron. So in the way of an old school crimper, we're going to take, and I picked this up at Walmart. It's called a Wave Maker Wave Artist from Bedhead. And so basically what you're going to do is you're going to take it, you're going to close it down on the hair, let it sit for a couple of seconds, then move it down, do it again. And you want to push up a little bit because you don't want to stretch the curls you've already made. And it's going to give you that wave. And you're going to do that in section by section as you go down the hair. And just push it up a little bit when you pull the next section. And you're just going to slide it down as you go down to the end of the hair. It's going to give you that real pretty wave pattern without having to fight with a curling iron. And you're going to want to, I'm going to do a couple more things with this, so I really don't want to spray it too much. But if I were doing it for the performance, I would definitely be spraying each section when I finished it. And the big thing to remember is try not to brush through these until they're completely cool. If they have any heat left in them, you definitely don't want to touch them and brush them out or do anything else to them until they completely cool off. So don't hold this too tight when you pinch the iron closed. We're just going to keep doing that for each one of these sections in the back of her head. And you can see I'm pushing that up so that I'm not stretching the curl that I did at the base, right? So we've got those real pretty waves. Spray them lightly before we move on to the next section. And now this section is teased at the root because I wanted some fullness up here from earlier. So don't pull all that teasing out if you have it in there. But you do want to brush your ends smooth, right? So right now I'm just trying to pick up hair that I haven't already waved. And then I'm going to gently brush out these ends so they don't get tangled up in my iron. And once again, we're just gonna, can y'all see through my arm? I'm just gonna clamp it, drop it and push. Drop it and push. Then we're going to do the same thing with this section. This section feels a little thick, but let's see what it does. And I'm horrible at editing, so you guys are going to have to like sit through all of this because I don't know how to edit all this out. So, sorry guys. And this will be the last parting that I take. And so I encourage you to pick an image. Like, you can totally go onto YouTube and look up vintage hairstyles, vintage 40 hairstyles, how to do victory rolls, how to do poodle styles. You can go through all of those and search them out, and there's tons of videos out there. So, and most of those videos are going to be people that do them on themselves. So that's going to be a little easier for you guys to pick up on. Just because I'm doing this on someone else, you're going to be doing it on yourself, or you might be doing it on each other. But you know, go in there and look and see what they're doing and pick up bits and pieces from them as well as what I've shown you. Because what I've done is try to keep it as simple as possible. So now you have the waves. A little bit of hairspray. And we're at 12 minutes. I need to finish this section up. So this is still a little warm, but you want to make sure it's cool before you start running your fingers through it. And then you can always go in and put a flower right there, and you have your classic, very elegant line from your 40s. So I think that's going to be it for now. I may come up with one or two more, but for now, I think we're going to leave it at this. If you guys have any questions, I'm on Instagram, Kathy Squee, KathySquee. Feel free to reach out to me. I'll be glad to help.